Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Edo Blossoms. And in the last part, we finished Heisuke's route, sorta, but we're on the final chapter of the good ending, and then we're going to do all of our bad endings. So this part might be a little bit longer than normal, just because we had managed to get, in Saito's route, we got all the way through the happy ending, and then the last part was an hour-long part of just the bad endings. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm guessing this will only be like 10 to 15 minutes, kind of like it was for him, and then we'll do the bad endings. This part might be a little bit longer because I don't want to do like 5 minutes of one of the next part. So this could be the last part. That's what I'm assuming. Anyway, so we're reading the final chapter of the good ending. As we traveled a little further, word made its way through the grapevine to us. Following Sanen's occupation of Sendai, the domain went into chaos before eventually collapsing. Oh, this is where we find out all our friends are dead. Suffering the loss of its key member, the Northern Alliance had no means of recovering, and the country ushered in a new age of government and imperialism. The war reduced the lives of thousands to whispers that vanished in the roar of the bombastic cannon fire. Although the country was going to experience a period of tumultuous change, we were safely out of reach within the rural pastures we called home. Okita's dead, Sanen's dead, all of them are dead. In the place of my birth, Yukimura village, time ticked slowly over meadows as far as the eye could see. How pretty. Heisuke's body, too, had experienced so much stress and change. The fresh bodies of water and crisp, clean air did wonders, it seemed, to slowly reverse the effects of his affliction so that he could live comfortably. Over time, his episodes grew further and further apart from each other. And soon, before we knew it, he was able to bask in the pleasant rays of sunshine once more. Aww! Every now and then I'd catch him sprawled across the tall grass, napping under the shade of an old tree, sleeping soundly like he hadn't a care in the world. 'Cause he's happy, that's adorable. Soon it became a daily ritual, his head resting peacefully atop of my lap as he dozed off. The weather was often so fair and temperate that I often caught myself falling asleep right next to him, leaning back into the tree trunk as I held him close. This day was another one of those days, the breeze tickling my cheek as I fondly remembered our past. I remember being in the common hall, Kondo and Hijikata standing in the front, loudly gesticulating. Okita and Saito stood just behind them. Oh, flashbacks to our boys. Nagakura and Harada would joke off to the side. And the rest of the men stood proudly around them. And of course... I was slow to open my eyelids, sensing the glint of sunlight between my thinned eyes. He's like a baby Okita right now, though. Is it just me, or you were like, he kind of has an Okita-ness about him? Like, it's because he's wearing, like, the green color and his eyes look like, even though Okita's eyes are a different green color, but his eyes are normally like an aqua color and they look more green than they should, but... Oh, my smile carried from my dream into my waking state, opening my eyes to the serenity around me. He's adorable. I love this CG. Oh, whoops. Did I fall asleep? Yeah, you looked real snug and cozy. That was so adorable. Watching you how relaxed you are as you sleep. Watching you how relaxed you are as you sleep. Fucking A, Tim. Ruin the moment. Normally, I would have rushed to tidy up my hair, but for some reason, I wasn't bothered by it at all. I turned lightly, nestling more comfortably in his lap, and looked at him as I muttered aloud. I dreamt of the past. I saw Kondo and Hijikata, and everyone else too. What about me? Was I sitting next to you? I can't recall. Part of me wants to say I saw you there at first, but somewhere in the middle, you left. I fluttered my hands upward as if chasing after the wisps of a dream floating above my head. Heisuke kindly caught my hand, holding it tightly. His hands were so small, yet so firm. They were his, and I loved their every touch. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. As the sun rises and as it falls, and under the moon, I'll never leave you. And even if, one day, something tries to pull us apart, my heart will be yours to keep. Oh my God, he's so romantic. It's so adorable. Wow. I was not expecting that to only be 5 minutes. I was expecting a little bit more out of the final chapter for Haze Gate, but that's okay, sure. They didn't bother telling us, like, in Saito's route, they're like, all your friends are dead. In this one, they're like, shit happened. The third Heisketeer. Anyway, so we are going to get our unrequited love ending. So let's go here, and we start chapter 4, low romance, low corruption. Okay. So we want low romance, and we want low corruption. Yes. All right. So we'll skip through this. And the rest of them are obviously our bad ending game overs, and we do get CG. I don't think we get a CG in this one. It needs to skip faster. Skip so slow. That's a little bit better. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4, because there's 1 for each chapter. Okay, there is 4 CGs when you make him endure it. So we must have gotten the other one. So we are supposed to... Wait, we're supposed to give him blood on this one. Shit, I scrolled down too far. Yeah, give him blood. And then we say you're doing... Oh, God. Is the unrequited love ending going to be like... No, the bad ending would be Sun and killing him. What are you talking about? Hey, Skate, you're just doing what you can to survive, aren't you? It's not fair for you to beat yourself down for something like that. So please, don't give up. Yeah, sure. But for what? I might be living now. Well, what about tomorrow? Or the day after? Sooner or later, my time's gonna run out, right? I can't just ignore all of that. Ultimately, Sonnet and I are very similar. Him, all the Fury Core. And even those Furies we found earlier. I'm just a goddamn Fury. I'm furious at being a Fury. I bet we're not gonna have a kissy scene. I mean, we shouldn't, if you think about it. Oh my god, we do. Which strikes me as weird because it's a low romance. This is the unrequited love. Is that... And I would think... This one, it's just the unrequited love ending. Obviously, all the other ones in the guide for each of the bad endings, there's like, it's blocked out. Like blacked out to tell you what happened. So like when I did Saito's route, I'd be like, blah, blah, and I would click on it and be like, yep, we both died. Or, wait, he killed us. I didn't think he killed us that time. Like, this one doesn't have one of those, but I'm not reading those until we're like at the ending, and then I click just to... Even though we see what happened, we're seeing what's happening at the time, but... I'm gonna guess in the unrequited love ending, even though he kissed us, which is weird if we have low romance, he's gonna send us off to Yukamura Village and he's gonna stay with Hijikata. That's what I would expect. Because I would expect in the bad game over ending in chapter 4, if we get it, when we get it, like, or if we had gotten it, it would be Sonnen kills him. Especially because it seems to be going down the... Oh no! Wait a minute, so this is... I rushed over to Sen, okay. However, just as I got within arm's reach of her, Kimigiku called out to me, stopping me in my tracks. Spacey, you mustn't get any closer. Sen's golden eyes glowed hazily, almost as though she had fallen into a trance. Sen, it's me, Spacey! You remember me, right? Her eyes were unfocused as they slowly turned to face me. I know that the real Sen's in there somewhere. Oh! The bloody dagger dropped from Sen's hand, and she touched her fingers to her temples languidly. My head! Her voice stammered, and she took slow, clumsy steps backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, then her body slumped to the floor. Sen! I ran from behind Kimigiku to check on the princess's pulse. Spacey, how is the princess? Well, her pulse is still beating, so I think she'll be okay. She just lost consciousness again. You are absolutely certain? Then that means... All that was left for us to do was destroy Sanan once and for all. A voice called out to me, taking me aback. Spacey! Take Princess Sen and leave this castle! What? Why? Don't take it the wrong way, but having you here while I fight is a little distracting. I can't bear to let you get in harm's way. You're telling me this now? Hurry up and go already! It sounded douchey, the way I read it. Heisuke was trading blows with Sanan, their blades dancing like two silver koi fish swirling in a pond. I thought we got this in the bad ending for Saito. Like, Saito died fighting Kazama, not the unrequited love. But then again, it is true, he did make us leave, and he never came out. But... So the thought of Yukimura witnessing your true form is something that frightens you, eh? Yet another example of the weaknesses that will be your undoing. Yeah, we've already seen your form because every time you drink our blood. So Heisuke attempted a jab, but Sanan narrowly dodged it, moving to smack the sword from Heisuke's hand. Yeah, he gonna die. It ends here. Heisuke! Sanan lowered his knees, readying himself to thrust his sword into Heisuke's heart when I heard the hair-raising sound of flesh being pierced. I shut my eyes in horror, traumatized by the thought. What? What was that? Had Heisuke been stabbed? Oh, we were. I sheepishly opened my eyelids and saw... It humors me to think of how willing you are to forget I exist, you fake. That voice... Kazama! Kazama tightly clenched his sword, twisting the blade as he drove it deeper into Sanan's chest. Sanan, however, hadn't even flinched. Of course. A little premature, isn't it? Shouldn't you let that little scratch on you heal before you even think of taking me on again? Sanan's lip curled into a wry smirk, and he pulled Kazama's sword from out of his chest with ease. In this form, I'm not bound by such restraints. Kazama's sword had just barely missed Sanan's heart, a crushing stroke of misfortune. In the matter of an instant, the profusely bleeding wound on Sanan's chest had sealed itself. Spacey, please! You gotta get out of here! Go! But... Listen to him. As long as I'm here to help him, no serious harm will come to either of us. The thought of leaving without Heisuke induced a nauseating bout of anxiety, but I had to trust that the two of them, together, would be enough to best Sanan, who demonstrated that his powers were no longer something to ignore. I nodded, accepting Heisuke's offer to leave, but... Promise me, Heisuke! Promise that you'll make it out of this alive! That you'll win this battle and return to me! Promise! Heisuke, I'll wait for you until the end of time. Oh, we're gonna be waiting. Yeah, I know. As long as Heisuke kept his head, he'd be safe. He's gonna die. He would never, ever break a promise to me. Nor had he ever done anything to raise distrust or concern in my eyes. He was a man of virtue. Kimikiku, let's go. Okay, I'll carry the princess. Follow right behind me. Okay. Once more, I turned to face Heisuke, nodding at him. Then, Kimikiku and I sprinted from the hall. We'd flung our legs forward, giving ourselves no chance to catch our breath, into a hall that was pungent with the stink of blood. As I looked down, I locked eyes with the decapitated Fury, and I was careful not to slip in any blood. I had to keep running, not allowing myself to look back. We'd been running so frantically that my heart was throbbing furiously in my chest. Was Heisuke still battling Sanan? I know he'll make it. No, he won't. Just then, something interrupted my line of thought. Princess, you're awake. Kiku, where are we? What are you doing here? Oh, that's right. Sanan. Todo, and Shigage Kazama have all worked together to free you from his capture. Really? But then where is Todo and Kazama? Where are Todo and Kazama? I don't see either of them around. Heisuke and Kazama will be right behind us in no time. She's right. We need only be patient for their return. After fleeing hurriedly from the castle, the three of us waited outside for Heisuke and Kazama. We stood idly, watching sunlight emerge from beneath the horizon in the sky to the east. Oh no. You think anything happened to them? If Sana and the Furies have yet to emerge from the castle as well, then I'm sure that Toto and Kazama are still safe for now. I, I'm gonna go and check on them. No, it is imperative that you remain here. If it bothers you so much, I shall go. Yeah, Kimigiko is tougher than us. She can fight, we can't. Kimigiko turned towards the enormous castle doors to make her way back inside.
Hey, wait! Someone's coming out of the castle!
Kazama. Just as Sen said, a thin figure was walking towards us from inside the castle, sauntering calmly over the dismembered corpses strung along the floor. He had been too far away for me to make out the features of his face, and I became a little nervous. Who who was that? Heisuke? Kazama? Or could it be Sanin? My stomach began to ache out of anxiety, waiting for the figure to make its final approach, until finally I'd made it out to be Kazama? I blurted out his name without thinking, staring at him blankly as he stepped out from the castle doors. Yeah, like you knew it was Kazama. Heisuke's dead. Why? I was so confused. Why was Kazama exiting the castle alone? Why didn't he have Heisuke with him? Heisuke promised me that he would defeat Sanin and make his way to me. I'm unsure how to put this lightly, but Toto proved himself back there, subduing Sanin and his furies. So, why isn't he here? Perhaps he was exhausted after a long night of fighting, taking a moment to rest before coming out. If I just waited here, then surely he would greet me with a smile any minute now. However, fighting so fiercely came with a price, and with his last bit of strength, his body turned to ash at the end of the battle. Kazama shattered what little hope I'd had left with his emotionless report. What? There's not even a body to go and, say goodbye to. He's just a pile of ash. That's so sad. I would hazard a guess that he hadn't wanted you to witness him in his twilight hour. Suddenly, I felt numb, and Kazama's words seemed to travel in one ear and out the other. That's true, because it's one thing, oh, you don't want her to see you in your form. He's like, I'm gonna die. I know it. I don't want her to see me turn to ash. Oh. Everything went still, the only other sound being the restless wind brushing against the hillside. Heisuke was dead? There was no body to bury, only ash. I couldn't believe it. It saves on cremation costs. I'm just saying. It's horrible. It's the only way I can make it through, okay? We know he's fine in the good ending. He made me a promise. He always kept his word. I hadn't even considered the notion of never seeing him again. Kazama walked up to me, taking my hand in his. Then he placed something small in the middle of my palm, and without looking, I turned it in my fingers. This is a button sewn previously on Heisuke's coat. A dried layer of blood was smattered on top of it. Yeah, I got you a button. Though, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, you're like, oh, Kazama, that's cute. A memento, if you will. Keep it. A deluge of tears came flowing uncontrollably down my cheeks. Heisuke is... No. Heisuke was... The only person in the world who meant more to me than anything was now just a memory. That's so sad. That's so sad. Sen and Kimigiko offered me a place of refuge in Yase village, but I had to decline their invitation, instead making my way for the Yukamura village, which allegedly had been the place of my birth. From what I'd been told, the village was abandoned, leaving no one there for me to find, but I figured it to be the perfect place to bask in my memory of Heisuke within my heart alone. That's so sad! Stepping into the village, I was overwhelmed with deja vu, soaking in a quaint, indelible calmness. For once, I felt at home, like my entire life had been leading me back here. My spirit felt in tune with the energy permeating every corner. I wish Heisuke were here with me to see this. Oh. Being born and raised in Edo, Heisuke may have found rural life to be tiresome after a while. But look, Heisuke, this is where I was born. I gripped the button nestled in my pocket and spoke to him from my heart, wherever he may be. It's so sad. No. Okay. Time to get our bad endings. I mean, our game overs. You get game overs for the first 3 chapters, and then you get the bad ending in the 4th chapter. I know, right? And the tree is dead. The tree is like, girl, we're so dead. I know. Just like my feelings. Sonen's dead. Heisuke's dead. Everyone's dead. All my friends are dead. I'm like a dinosaur. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Low romance. High corruption. Clickety clickety click click click. Click 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 click. Clicking, 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 trying to skip. Skip! I wanna skip. Boop. Skip right. So, yes. Okay. So those are... Oh, Sonnen. You were still crazy, but you weren't stabby yet. It's like fingerprints all over my TV because I keep petting them. Because I'm crazy. Oh. No. He's like, yeah, okay. Our crazy brother will show up in Okita's path because he gave the potion to Okita, so. Because we haven't seen hide or hair of him, like, at all since we started. They kind of just slowly forgot about some of these people. Like, we introduce these characters and and then they just ignore them. You know, I mean, it is kind of weird. Like, la 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 la. I'm sure everything will work out. Okay, you're right. Sen herself had said that she intends to have Kimikiko examine things further. I'm sure everything will work out. I carried a lingering suspicion that his confident words were only a facade for my sake, but I had no desire to belittle him during what was, I'm sure, a challenging dilemma to confront. Yeah, the moment you give up, you lose everything. His bravery was all a front. Of this I felt certain. Heisuke would be fine. Or so I had desperately hoped. And then now he's going to have his thing, and we're going to get our bad ending.
What are you talking to? What are you talking to out there? Is booties outside? It's kind of dusky. It's getting late. Who's out there that you're playing with?
Do you see your reflection? It's not another bird. Anyway, sorry. Make him endure it. Perhaps the cruelest option was to let him endure this torment until it passed. So I stood idly, unable to say anything about it to his face, but... Oh, this is the CG we're going to see every time we make him endure it. Oh, we're mean. Heisuke dug his fingernails into his throat, scratching madly at his skin as he screamed his lungs out. How many more times would Heisuke have to suffer this grave fate? Probably die. He's probably going to die. How many more times would I have to watch Heisuke writhe in unfathomable pain like this? Again, one of you is going to die, so. Heisuke! I had nothing left to tell him, so all I could do was continue to softly rub the small of his back. The end. Okay. Well, we haven't gotten to the point where, like, I guess the ending is happening. It's so tempting to click that black box, but I'm not gonna. Not until we get to the end. It's like nothing happens. Well, I mean. So that's the CG we're gonna see 4 times. You know, 4 different versions of it. I still feel like we missed one, but maybe not. I don't know. Oh. I wonder if he dies here. Forgot about this fight. Oh. Oh no. Watch out, Heisuke! Helplessly standing off to the side made me cringe, so I jumped out to distract Heisuke's rabid combatants. I was well aware that my swordsmanship was nowhere enough to take on a Fury in battle. You're nowhere enough to take on, like, a fucking toothpick in battle, but if I were able to provide even the slightest bit of cover for Heisuke, it would be worth it. Did you break your bells? God, how do you manage that? I took a deep breath to ensure myself of my resolve, and I unsheathed my kodachi from its scabbard. Not a second after I made myself visible. Gah! I drove my kodachi into the arm of the fury attacking Heisuke, making it vulnerable to a second strike. You idiot! I told you to stay put! But Heisuke, you would've... Watch out! Duck! No, it's a fury. Huh? Before I had the chance to look over my shoulder, I heard the metallic hiss of a sword before it pierced into my chest. Suddenly, my breathing was strained. Spacey! I heard my name being desperately called out to me, but the voice felt as though it were miles away. Chizuru, stabbed by a fury. Or Spacey, stabbed by a fury. Yep. I mean, that's exactly what happens, though. Spacey! You alright? Spacey! Then the sensation of being lifted up came from under me as my arms and legs became limp. My eyes were unable to focus on anything, which made it difficult to make out Heisuke's face as I struggled to see through the haze. It's amazing that just choosing, make him endure it changes the whole fight. It's like, nah, go fuck yourself. It's not even like I made a choice and then we instantly went down a bad path. You go for a while and then you get that and you're like, oh, fuck. My eyes were unable to focus on anything, which made it difficult to make out Heisuke's face as I struggled to see through the haze. Hey, wake up! Please! Spacey! I'm so sorry, Heisuke. I don't know if we'll see each other anymore. No. No, you won't. Beam. Bad end. That's what you get for being an asshole. You should have given him blood. Or medicine. Medicine doesn't do anything, though. I'm assuming the medicine kind of does nothing for the... You stay on, like, mid-corruption, but it probably still gives you the same scene as... Okay, so we want low romance, high corruption. We're in chapter 2, right? Yeah, good. Low, high, low, high, low, high. So, like, I know we're, like, in the middle of this, and, like, going through all of Heisuke's, like, bad endings and stuff. But, like, are you psyched? Because tomorrow, for you guys, not for me, obviously, because it's going to be at least a couple days for me. Anyway, we start Okita's path. We'll finally get to see Okita. It makes me sad that we did him so early on. Only because in this one, he's never around. So he pretty much dies. He's pretty much gone. So it's like, we'll finally get to see his pretty face and listen to his abuse and how he's going to stab us. And then the rest of the game, it's going to be like this where he just doesn't exist. And that makes me sad. But it's also going to be the same thing because after this, anyway, so, Sanin? That person you're worried about, is it Sanin? Huh? Heisuke jumped, seemingly startled by the question I had posed. Oh, so it's not him? I mean, aside from Sanin, I have no idea whom you could be worried about. We're an idiot. Oh, yeah. No, you got it. It's Sanin I've been worried about. Wait, really? But you just... Well, I mean, I'm just shocked that you guessed right on the first try. You got me. Man, are you psychic or something? Not that I'm aware of. Judging by Heisuke's reaction when I uttered Sanin's name, I assumed that his attempt to reassure me was all a big ruse. Maybe I guessed incorrectly, but I had difficulty thinking of anyone it could have been. He was like, make him endure it. Although his bloodlust was sure to subside if I had only offered him my blood, we were unsure of what effect it would have on his body, wondering if giving him blood could exacerbate the frequency or the severity of his symptoms. Erring on the side of caution, all we could do was wait. See? Same thing, just different hair and background. And clothes. Heisuke, hold on tight. Without any reasonable options available to us, I placed my hand on the small of his back in the hopes that the pain would soon cease. Damn it! How much more shit do I have to take? If only I could switch places with him. A futile wish, of course, but true nonetheless. For now, I could only continue to rub his back, keeping him company until the agony subsided. I mean, it's kind of also the same for Yamazaki's path, because Yamazaki's never... But he is kind of in the middle. You know what I mean? Actually, no. We literally do Okita, Sanin, and then Yamazaki, the next 3 paths that we do. And those are the people that, like Okita's never in it. So we're going to see him finally. Woohoo! But then we're not going to see him again for like 80 paths. And then Sanin has always been a dick. And then we'll finally be like, oh God, Sanin, you're not going to be an asshole. And then he's going to be an asshole again. And Yamazaki will finally be there because, he's dead in every other path. But it's the same thing with Iba. Like, Iba wasn't in any of them. So Harada and Nagakura kind of leave pretty fast. Ryoma's always dead. Like, it's like, I don't know. I guess half of them, but they're kind of like mixed. But I just feel bad that we're finally going to get Okita just to never see him again. And we're finally going to have a redeemable Sanin. Like, Sanin, we saved you! Just for him to be a dick again. I don't know. Here you are. Defeating you with my blade seems too easy a proposition. However, since I have the opportunity, why don't I show you just how powerful a pure-blooded demon can truly be with the proper guidance? Sanin is going to kill us in this one. Time for you to shine, my dear. See to it that their end is swift. Sanin smirked cruelly, eyeing Sen as he barked his sadistic command. However, her pose shifted dramatically in response to his call. Then... Oh! Sen instinctively unsheathed the sword on her waist. Her eyes were glossy and unfocused, similar to the same lifeless stare worn by other Furies, making it difficult to gauge whether or not she was conscious. One thing was clear, her sanity had suffered. Or Sen's gonna kill us? Wow. So, how do you plan to proceed? If you have any intention of touching me, then you'll first have to kill her. What a terrible dilemma. That's not fair, Sanin! You've taken her hostage! Heisuke shifted his feet, readying himself to attack. However, he seemed rooted, seemingly incapable of lunging aggressively at Sen. Sanin's playful taunts served their purpose, casting a threat of doubt into Heisuke. Sen kicked at the floor, thundering towards Heisuke. Her movements were so fluid, gliding across the ground as if it were a freshly frozen lake. I'm just waiting for her to kill us. Arrgh! Although Heisuke was no pushover, Sen's newfound strength caught him off guard. Like a master of swordsmanship, she weaved around him effortlessly and closed the distance in seconds. At this rate, Heisuke was likely to be subdued. Sen, it's me! Please snap out of it! Sen's hollow eyes all of a sudden grew very wide. Maybe, just maybe, I could get through to her. Sen, do you recognize me? Remember our first conversation? Remember how you told me you thought my last name was pretty? You're Spacey. Oh, yes, Sen. That's me. A feeling of overwhelming relief came over me. Sen hadn't lost her sense of self completely. How fleeting that happiness turned out to be, as the burn of cold steel pierced through my chest, Sanin. Huh? Suddenly I struggled to form coherent words. Sen? I could form the shape of her name with my lips, but no sound came out. Instead, all that escaped my mouth was a pungent, frothy wad of blood. My vision blurred, and soon my entire body became numb. Did she kill us? The only thing my ears could make out was... Spacey! Spacey! A cackling laughter and the faint sound of Heisuke crying out my name. Wow. I'm so sorry, Heisuke. All I wanted was to be with you. This says Sen kills us. I'm assuming it was her too, because it could have been Sanin, but they do make it seem like it was her, because it was like, Sen? Oh, Spacey! Jabs us! Wow. Well, that's what we get for trying to be friends with you, bitch! This is why you don't make your man endure. Always give him your blood, girls. I'm just saying. Or your friends, or you get stabbed! Bitches get stabbed. Okay, so chapter 3, low romance, high corruption, and we're gonna get the same Shiji. CG. In chapter 3, calm down. Those are the choices. Make him endure it and calm down. This one's a long one, so I'm assuming that we both die in this one. Because the other one was not, like, well, with Spacey, but her real name's Chizuru. Chizuru killed by Sen, which is small. But this one's like twice as long, it looks like. So I'm going to assume it's Chizuru and Heisuke killed by something. Or Heisuke kills us. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a longer bar, so that's usually, to me, saying that we both die. So far, we haven't both died, and he hasn't killed us. Saito killed us, apparently, in one of them. I don't feel like he did, though. I mean, that's what the guide said. Well, but, I mean, that also with this, it's left kind of up to interpretation. Like, yeah, I get where they're saying Sen killed us. It could have technically been Sanin, but I think more likely it was her. But was Heisuke resigned to this fate, suffering pain until his limbs curled into themselves? Gah! How much more torture could one person handle, tearing apart every fiber of their being? A question, frustratingly, that had no immediate answer. Heisuke, hang in there! Heisuke! I watched his face scrunch desperately, and I could do nothing but watch, praying for this to subside. So what I'm thinking, too, is, like, if you were going down this and we didn't have the guide, because, like, I read, and it was like, give them blood, and I was like, well, I might as well do the guide now, because now I kind of already know, like, when these come up, what to do, right? Hold on. You don't truly mean that, do you, Heisuke? That negative attitude won't do you any good when it comes time to fight Sanin. So please, calm down. The truth is, I've got no intention of giving up on either you nor Sen. Neither you nor Sen until everything's said and done. Spacey! Heisuke fidgeted uncomfortably, creating a painful silence between the two of us for a moment, until he finally offered his timid, mumbled response. Sorry, maybe I've been a little too weak-hearted lately. You're right. There's no way you could just leave your friend, right? Alright, we're gonna save Princess Sen together. I'm kinda in debt to her anyway. As for what happens afterward, I'll try not to think about it too much. Heisuke... But, like, if you had done this without a guide, and the first time you chose, okay, I'm gonna try something different. Let's give him blood. And the second time, give him medicine. Third time, make him endure it. You'd get a bad ending, and you'd be like, make him endure it is the bad choice. Don't do that. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, he's fighting oh, right. Okay, never mind. I was like, they were fighting Furies. Maybe that's how we die. But no. Oh, wait. Is this the point where we find... Wait. So what's next? It's not like we can just waltz into the city like we're on our merry way. I was wondering if this is the part where we run into... to Sana and he kills us? I don't know. Wait. Kazama coldly interrupted Heisuke and he thought aloud. His golden eyes were turned towards a clearing in the distance, which had been completely enveloped by thick, impenetrable darkness. All of us paused, holding our breaths, before the crescendo of approaching footsteps hit our ears. Sonnen. Was this another Fury? Or... Is anyone out there? Is Sen gonna kill us? That voice. Sen? The silhouette emerging from the darkness was becoming clearer as I called out to whom I believed it to be. Spacey! What are you doing all the way out here? What are you doing out here? It is you! Sen! Oh my goodness! You're safe! Her kimono was filthy with mud and soot, like she'd been wandering around the barren muck for hours. I had suspected that somehow she managed to escape, blindly traversing the mountainous path all by herself. I'm scared. With each of her footsteps, my relief soared until... Not one step closer. Kazama's startling command halted Sen in her tracks. What? Who are you supposed to be locked up in Sendai Castle? Sen, your bodyguard was just here. Yes, in fact I was. Oh, what a terrifying endeavor. I slipped past the guards and ran for my life. And by yourself? So surprised. I am a demon, you know. Sen smirked playfully, which was a welcome sight given our fervent concern for her well-being. But rather conspicuously, her sanity was intact. Neither Heisuke nor Kazama lowered his guard, slowly taking backward steps to keep their distance. Just then... What's wrong, Heisuke? I attempted to look at what drew his attention when... I reflexively cupped my hands around my mouth to prevent from screaming in terror. Oh, I thought it was gonna. I'm like, I was expecting Sonnen. She's like screaming in terror. I'm like, at Sonnen? That's fine. Suddenly, the eerie darkness was peppered with pairs of tiny crimson eyes. This is where we die, okay. 2 by 2, their ominous gaze appeared in spine-chilling fashion, lurking from all corners, atop tree branches and behind tall, looming bushes. The haunting glow of their bloodthirsty eyes made my knees vigorously shiver. Where I made to guess, it looks like there was 10, no, or more, double that, 20. Sen, this is... They're after me! Spacey, please save me! Blood. I need blood. As the Furies sauntered towards us menacingly, they gleefully licked their lips. They wore inspective gazes, sizing up their next meal. Ugh. Heisuke! Kazama! God damn you. Oh, that's Heisuke. I was reading that in Kazama's voice. God damn you, Sonnen! They're multiplying left and right! Taking on this many at once will keep us busy the whole night! An astute observation, boy. Out of the goodness of my own heart, be thankful I'm here to save you. Yeah, right! Over my dead body! Yeah! Or Heisuke and Kazama killed by Furies, I'm guessing? I don't know. Heisuke rashly charged at the group of Furies, his cries echoing in the surrounding darkness. Gah! Multiply while you can, you vile bastards! Feed my sword with your corrupt flesh, you fakes! Grr! Although they were completely outnumbered, they were amateurs compared to Heisuke and Kazama, who kicked up a gust with every bone-snapping swing of their sword. Heisuke held his own, drop-kicking a Fury in the chest before burying his sword into its heart, and behind him fought Kazama, effortlessly weaving around his victims. Just then... Spacey? Just as I thought they were killing off the Furies in exceptional time, Sen suddenly appeared at my side. I still harbored suspicions as to whether or not she could be trusted, but I lowered my guard. Don't worry, Sen. I'm sure they'll take care of everything, so She hadn't seemed worried at all. Her mouth perked up into an unsettling smirk that chilled me to my core. And then... Sen dashed behind me, slapping one hand across my mouth and gagging me silent. Then, through her fingers, she slipped a vial of bitter liquid into my covered mouth, forcing me to swallow. Oh! Thank you, Sonnen. I just wanted you to want me enough to kidnap me and make me one of your demon princess whores. You know what? It sounds bad now that we're in this situation. What is this? What just happened? Will be easier to control.
Come with me, Spacey. You and I, together, we shall create an idyllic paradise filled with beings that surpass both demons and furies alike.
She has no pupils. Shouldn't trust her.
We'll shape the future of this kingdom, founding an unbreakable legacy for ourselves for generations.
And numbness trickled down each of my limbs, and all of a sudden, I had no control over my muscles. I dropped to the floor, gazing into Sen's blank eyes as they loomed fuzzily above me. Oh, that was it? So what was this? Oh, turned into a Fury by Sen. Okay. Oh my god. Hey, though. Heisuke hasn't killed us. Saito killed us in one. I'm not necessarily sure that he did it, but... Low romance. High corruption. Here we go, bad ending. And then we look at our CGs. Chapter 4. He's gonna die. I know it. Well, he died in the low romance, or the other ending. Huh. Sonnen kills us. I don't know. I'm not checking the thing until after. But because the only difference between this one and the other one is we're making him endure it this time. We're in the other one. Like, not even words of consolation could save him now, and I bit my tongue to spare him the pity. I uttered a silent prayer, hoping that Heisuke would come out of this episode alive. Saliva frothed from his mouth, producing an incoherent babble as he cried out in misery. His shrieks were harsh, like a wild boar catching the scent of its slaughtered kin. Heisuke! He furiously scratched at his chest, breaking into the skin and releasing an ooze of blood that seeped underneath his dirty fingernails. Blood! Blood! Damn it! No, I can't drink it! He dug his teeth into his lip, again drawing blood. I grew horrified in watching Heisuke literally tear himself apart, wondering how much more he'd take. His limit was undoubtedly fast approaching. Please, Heisuke, make it through this. If only I'd given you blood. These thoughts circled like clockwork in my mind as I searched for any distraction to comfort myself. So the only difference between this and the low romance bad ending is the giving him blood or not giving him blood. Because we both have, well, the other one is low romance, low corruption. This is low romance, high corruption. But that's why it's the corruption. That's the difference, not the romance. I don't know what would happen if you had high romance, high corruption. I'm guessing if it's high corruption, it's still this. You still get the bad endings. That's the whole point. So. So now we're gonna go in. We're gonna fight Sonnen, and I'm curious. Someone's gonna die. Well, Heisuke is probably gonna die, but he died in the Unrequited Love ending. Maybe we both die here. I don't know. I'm contemplating. This box is not as long as the Turned into a Fury by Sen one, but it's still longer than Killed by Fury. Sen, are you okay? Huh? Sen suddenly looked up, stopping herself from lapping up the blood splattered on her palms. We kind of already read that, but Princess, it's me. Do you recognize me? Everyone dies. That would be Kiku? Spacey? Her pupils undilated, regaining some sense of self. Okay, so this is similar. This blood! It seemed Kimigiko and I got through to her. Or maybe somehow Kazama's blood worked to counteract the effects of the water of life. Sen no longer had a deranged look on her face as she touched her cheeks in surprise. That's right! He forced me to drink his blood! Sen, hang in there. Her eyes flickered between sanity and insanity, as if she was fighting an internal battle to regain control of her body. Which meant that it wasn't over yet, that Sen hadn't completely exorcised the evil festering inside of her. Through her ragged, pained breaths, she spoke, albeit somehow retaining her air of refinement. Kiku, no! Kimigiku, as the princess of Yasei Village, I command you this instant! Princess. Kimigiko hurriedly straightened her back, like a well-trained dog beckoning to its master. That's rude, calling her a dog. However, Sen's order caught me by surprise, and I cut my mouth in horror. Killer. Please, take my life while you still have the option. What? What are you saying? Sen! Clear as day, I mean exactly what I say. The fury blood has ensnared me, dominating my every waking move. As a demon, I have failed. At this rate, I'm nothing more than a threat to each of you. But just look at you. You're speaking to us normally. Everything will be okay. Sweat glistened on Sen's face, and she eked a smile out of pity.
I've done and convinced you, haven't I?
The struggle in Sen's face was palpable, and it took every bit of strength she had to suppress the murderous instincts bubbling underneath. She reached her hand into her pocket, pulling from it a ceremonial dagger that she handed to Kimigiku.
I apologize for burdening you with such a heavy task, Kiku.
Kimigiku's eyelashes fluttered as she held the dagger loosely in her hand. No need. The apology should come from me. There are no words to properly express my grief. I have failed to keep you safe, and now I must take your life. Forgive me, Princess. It won't be long until I join you in the next life.
Sorry.
Sen slowly lowered her arms, trembling nervously at her side. She took a deep breath in anticipation.
I can only restrain myself for a second longer. Please do it.
Wait, Kimigiku! Sen is still...
Kiku, hurry!
Sen's expression dropped suddenly, her eyes shining widely with madness. I was trying to say widely, and then I thought I said wildly, and I kept going back and forth in my brain.
Hurry up! I let me taste you.
Sen attempted to pry the dagger from Kimigiku's hands when... A splatter of blood splashed upwards, forming into the shape of petal blossoms cascading in midair.
Huh?
Rather than Kimigiku or myself, it was Sen who seemed the most confused.
Huh? What's happening to me?
She swung the dagger around hysterically.
No!
She just kill us all. Another splash of crimson-colored blood petals danced above us before spilling onto the floor. Who's killing who here? What's going on?
No! Stop! No! I don't want this!
This is traumatic. Her body and mind were at odds with one another, her mind attempting to reclaim itself while her body thrashed about with the dagger in hand.
Kiku! Spacey! I...
Tears streamed down her face, but her lips formed into a sadistic grin.
I'm so sorry! I'm so sorry!
She apologized profusely, though she continued to stab us with wild abandon, pushing and pulling the dagger into our flesh uncontrollably. Oh, so she's brutally murdering us. Fuck. Soon, the grueling pain of the dagger went numb, and I almost pitied Sen, reaching to touch her cheeks. Because she was like wildly, and I'm like, who is she stabbing us? Because we're saying nothing about the pain. I'm like, who is she? Is she stabbing herself? What is happening?
Sorry, Spacey.
I'm sorry too, Sen.
I just have no control of myself. You couldn't kill me in time.
Forgive me for not killing you fast enough. It wasn't our job to do it. Those were my last moments, it seemed. After a while, I went completely numb. My vision grew hazy, only making out her teardrops falling onto the pool of blood spurting from my chest. This is fucking... Chizuru killed by Sen. Again. Slaughtered. Brutally slaughtered. Anyway, if only there was a way to save her. This is fucking brutal. She's like, ah! She's literally hacking us to pieces. And we're like, this is not she stabbed us. She is brutally hacking us to pieces. That is some rough shit. So that was it. Okay. That is not the way you should ever end a game. Like, we normally, we always end in this one on the bad, and it's like, holy shit, that was traumatic. I want to see if we have everything. Well, I guess we did get everything. Oh, you know what it was? It was this one from that I don't remember. Okay. So, hold on. I'm going to go back for a second. So the first 4, there's things, her slapping him. Okay, I just want to make sure I know. There's 3 of these. So we go through our... And this one there's 4 of. So him eating our blood. They just slightly change it. Like, it's basically the same. And then him clutching his chest in pain. Again, it's the same thing. It's like... Oh, that's when you saw your friend. That's adorable. I'm sorry. This moment in the game, it was like, yeah. There was a lot of shit going on in that part. She's like, how dare you? It's adorable she slapped. I do love this, though. Kazama's like, the fuck? And they're like, Kazama's like, I fucking hate you. It's funnier when you're mad at us. I love it. Oh, but look how sweet his face is. Aw, it's adorable. Like them I see together, because she's got a derpy little face and he's an adorable baby face, and it's like it works. But she's also not derpy-eyed in this one, but... Ooh. What is the difference? Hold on. What is the difference? Right? I don't see the difference. What am I missing? Right? What am I missing? Oh, you know what? Oh, okay, it's where his hand... Okay, we're not seeing the whole image. We're not seeing the whole image. That's why. Okay, hold on. No, out this way. God damn it. It's just the way his hand is. You don't see the whole... I mean, it's... Anyway. That face, though, it's so sad. He looks 10. He looks like a 10-year-old who just brutally stabbed his dad. It's just... There's something so wrong about it. Like, you made him look like a child. Oh, that's adorable. Oh. And then, of course, the legit... I was, like, trying to get it so that, like, we can see the thing. But, I mean, I guess it's, like... It's perfectly fine the way it is. But anyway. And that's the last one, which is perfect, because that's the one we're going to end it on. And I love that one. He's so adorable. But he looks like baby Okita, doesn't he? It's like, Okita. If you weren't only a few years older than Heisuke, I'd be like, who'd you knock up? Anyway. So when we come back, speaking of baby Okita, tomorrow, for you guys, we'll be in Okita's path. So finally get to see him. Because he pretty much dies all the other times, which is depressing. But anyway. So I am going to wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.